Okay, today we will go through the concept of synchronization. Okay, so basically you might be aware of synchronization concept, but where and all or how and when we can able to use on which situations. So that we are going to discuss it today. Okay, so okay, okay, concept of synchronization. What is meant by sync? What do you mean of sync? Sync means what? Sync or synchronization. What does it mean normally?
Mm.
Lushka, any idea?
Yes, and in general, if you're concerned like sync, maybe you're working together, like coordinating together, something
Yeah,
like that.
coordinating. Because suppose
Mm.
when I am teaching or you are listening, right? So whether both
Mm-hmm.
are having sync or not. Suppose the way I am teaching and the way you are understanding the concept, whether both are in the sync or not. Similarly,
Mm-hmm.
whenever we are executing the application, right? So when we are launching the browser, right? Say for example, you are launching on google.com, right? So this is a through
Mm.
browser we are launching, right? So it is loading here. How much time it is taking, whether the response we are getting properly or not. Similarly, you are searching something here, okay? Whether you got the response or not, right?
Yeah.
Say for
So
example, if I am,
are you sharing your screen?
yeah, no, I didn't share you.
Yeah, that's not it.
See, whenever we are searching something or whenever if you are executing the application, so how the response we are getting, right? That behavior of the
Mm.
application. Okay. See, normally when you are having the executing the applications, it depends on your network performance, network speed, whether you have 5G,
Mm-hmm.
4G or 2G or 3G. So it depends where it varies between the type of speed, right? Say for example, if you
Mm.
have 2G network, you may have one kind of speed. Similarly, if you have 5G or 4G or Wi-Fi, so it may differ, right? Speed of the application or execution speed, it may differ from generation to generation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is what we are going to check here. See, that means that whenever we are executing the application, that application performance along with that the test scripts what you have. Okay, say for example, uh, imagine that you have one application. Okay, say this is one application. Okay, say this is a software or so this is one application or application or www.google.com. Okay, so similarly somewhere you have some kind of tool is there here. This is nothing but a selenium tool. Selenium tool. Okay. Whenever we are launching the application, here we are going to give that URL, right? In this Selenium, we are going to pass this URL, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that means that here you have the script. Say for example, as you imagine that you have some kind of uh, driver.get or some kind of script is there here. So assume that this is the script. Okay. So when you are using this script and here you have the application, say here you have some username, okay, then you have password, then you have some cancel button. These kind of options are there in the front end user interface. Okay, so for all these you have created already script. So when you are executing the script, the speed of the application, that means how the response is going to get it from the application along with the tool speed, because this execution scripting, right, whatever we are having the tool speed, this is going to be very much faster. Okay, tool is going to be very much faster because default it may around 1 second or 5 seconds, right? So this execution might be very much faster. So whenever you run the application, this timing, it has to be equal to this particular tool. Otherwise, you may get the errors, kind of no element, such exception, or element not found, or element not clickable. Okay, so these kind of errors you may see, because whenever if it is not sync up with this, so that's why whenever if you are executing the application, it has to be sync both. Okay, both. Yeah, hi Rajesh. Okay, so the speed of the application and both has to be in the same direction. Means whatever we are having, both should be in the sync. Then only we can able to perform the operations. Otherwise, every time if both are not synced, then you may get the error messages, or script may get failed because of this slow response. How the application is going to get the response? Yeah, hi Rajesh.
The support. Past, from till now she is not there.
Is today?
Yes, right. That's what has been written. Monica.
No, today Vasu is going to support.
Okay, over. They are not. Is Vasu available now?
Yes, yes, I will check once, Rajesh. I will give you, give me some time. I will call you back.
Vasu
Because
Gatta, right?
Gattu, yeah, Gatta Vasu.
That just ask him, Srinatha, ensure that he has to say what he is going to accomplish. That's the
Correct, correct. Yeah.
Be asking.
Yeah, correct. Yesterday also we have already instructed Naresh to execute only which they can able to execute. Rest of the things you don't touch on that areas. Okay, because of that timeline. So we have given that only. So Vasi is also working on the same thing only today. I will have a work. Yeah, he knows that what he needs to be done. So we will sync up with him and we will ask the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, first ask him to get into that the principal.
Okay, sure, Rajesh.
That is where the gap is happening at this point.
Correct.
Ask him to
Yeah.
get into that
Okay.
principal. I'll ping him right now.
Yeah, sure. You just ping me that link to Vasu so that I will ask.
Link.
Oh, okay.
That's where I think. Okay. I'll ping him. I just asked him to join. That's it. From there, I'll take it.
Sure, Rajesh. Sure.
Thanks.
1 minute, team. Just వాసు ఈరోజు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నావు కదా, ఈరోజు? నో ఈరోజు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నావు కదా అని అడుగుతున్నా.
శ్రీనాథ్ గారు.
వాసు వినిపిస్తుందా ఇప్పుడు?
ఇప్పుడు వినిపిస్తుంది.
మరి ఇది ఈ రోజు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నావు కదా అని.
చేస్తున్నాను.
అదే
నేను
ఆన్లైన్ లో లేనంటున్నారు రాజేష్.
ఆ,
అది బ్రిడ్జ్ లో
తను
జాయిన్
నేను-
అవ్వమంటారు. రమా ఉండదు.
ఆ,
ఆ
ఓకే,
బ్రిడ్జ్
ఓకే.
లో
నేను
జాయిన్
టీం
అయ్యి
చేస్తున్నా.
నువ్వు ఈ రోజు నీకు టార్గెట్ తెలుసు కదా ఏం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలని.
తెలుసు.
ఏవైతే ఎగ్జిక్యూటబుల్ ఉంటాయో అవి మాత్రమే కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయి. ఓకే.
ఓకే, ఓకే.
నిన్న నరేష్ ఎన్ని చేశాడు ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఏమన్నా ఐడియా ఉందా?
ఏం ప్రోగ్రెస్ డిఫెక్ట్ రీటెస్ట్ మాత్రం చేశాడండి.
అంతేనా?
ఆ,
సరే చూడు, ఫోకస్ ఉంటే చూడు, లేకుంటే డిఫెక్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పి కాల్లో చెప్పేసే వాళ్ళకి.
ఓకే, ఓకే.
అది ఇంకోటి వాసు, ఆ ఏఎంఆర్ది ఓన్లీ ఏఎంఆర్ స్టేటస్ కావాలి వాసు.
ఇది
ఓన్లీ
అయిన తర్వాత
టుమారో డెలివరీ ఉంది కదా,
ఆ,
సో రేపుటికి మాత్రమే ఏఎంఆర్ లో టోటల్ 145 ఎన్నో ఉన్నాయి కదా యూజర్ స్టోరీస్. సో అవి మాత్రమే సపరేట్ స్టేటస్ కావాలి. నేను ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను నిన్న ఇవన్నీ బ్లాక్డ్ ఉన్నాయని చెప్పేసి. సో
సరే, సరే.
మన సైడ్ నుంచి అవి బ్లాక్డ్ అని పెట్టేసేయండి క్యూ టెస్ట్ లో.
సరే, సరే. ఓకే, ఓకే.
అదే నన్ను చెప్పే
సరే.
క్యూ టెస్ట్ లో బ్లాక్డ్ అని పెట్టేసేయండి. అన్ఎగ్జిక్యూటెడ్ మాత్రం మన సైడ్ నుంచి ఏమీ ఉండకూడదు. ఓకే
ఓకే, ఓకే.
ఓకే
సరే.
వాసు.
చెక్, చెక్.
Yeah, okay, sorry, Tim. Okay. So this is the only thing, this synchronization concept. That means that application and test script speed, both we can sync up with both the things, then we can consider it as a, if you don't have any deviation, then your application is going to run very smooth. If we have any deviation, say for example, imagine that if you have one application, in that application, what is web page contains? Say for example, in this web page contains what generally? Web page contains generally what? Web elements, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Srivalli, your voice is very slow, Srivalli, whether it is from my side or you can just.
Now is it better, sir?
Yeah, now it is very good. Yeah. Earlier you only said, right, web element.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very low, that voice. So now it is clear.
Okay.
See, web page contains web elements. That means that, say for example, this is a one web application. See, this web application, these all are nothing but a web elements, right? Say username, this is a one web element, and the entire page we can call it as a web page, right? So under this, these all are the HTML element, HTML. Okay. Say for example, each and everything we can treat it as a one web element. See, this is one web element. Whatever we highlighted here, username, this input box, similarly password, everything, each and every input field we can consider it as a one web element. Okay, web page contains web element, and this web elements, it depends on the condition, like browser conditions or server response. Suppose if server is down, then these elements may not be load, and it will take some time to load the web elements. So that is where we are going to perform that kind of operations. So in order to sync up for both the application and speed, suppose here this username or cancel or logout button, when application is loading some time, then in order to sync up for both application and synchronization with tool, we are going to use some kind of wait properties. Okay, wait. That means that you have to wait till the element is to be loaded, or the entire web elements is going to be loaded. Till that time you just wait. You are just instructing the tool, because we cannot say tool to wait. Okay, you are just instructing the tool. You have to wait until this web element is going to be loaded in the web page. Okay, so in such cases we are having some kind of different synchronization methods which we need to cope up with this application speed and this execution speed. Okay, so thread.sleep, first one is thread.sleep, because this is a Java wait property basically, and this is in real time. No one is going to use this thread dot sleep, because even whenever, if we can say, or if someone will ask you in the interview also, you have to say that I never used this thread dot sleep in our projects where I am working on it, right? So what is the disadvantage of this? Suppose, imagine that you are having 100 thread dot sleeps, and this is going to be worked out for each and every web element. Say each and every web element, in the sense, in the application, you have username and first name, password. You have to use the thread dot sleep for each and every web element in order to wait for that web element. So say if you can say thread dot sleep for username, then it will wait for that many seconds, then only it is going to be perform the action. Similarly, first name also, if you use the thread dot sleep before this first name, it will wait for that many seconds, and then only it is going to be perform the or enter the value in this first name field, even though if the element is loading. So here, suppose if you give 10 seconds, then it will wait till 10 seconds. This is a static wait property, static wait, static wait, static wait. That means that it has to be sleep until this many seconds are getting completed. Okay, so that's why this is going to be a static wait. So imagine that in an application 1000 lines of code, you are having 100 places or 200 places you have this thread dot sleep wait method. So how many seconds are going to waste? It may almost 1 hour, or like 10 to 15 minutes it is going to halt. That means it halts your execution. Even though the element is loaded before 10 seconds, still it will wait, it will reach us the 10 seconds. Okay, so that is a disadvantage. Say here in 2 seconds that element has been loaded, so remaining 8 seconds are wasted, right? So 8 seconds is going to be an ideal. Okay, so how are we going to overcome this? So it should not be like this. Whenever if you are assuming, then we have to taken the other method. So in order to avoid this, we will go with the implicit wait option. So we have one more dynamic wait properties, implicit wait. Okay, implicit wait is nothing but property. Suppose if you are defining, or if you are telling in a to WebDriver for 5 to 3 seconds or 5 seconds, say imagine that you have given 10 seconds. Okay, so this implicit wait, and you are providing the driver. So in web page, if you have 10 elements are there, okay, for all the 10 elements it will wait. Suppose if one element is loaded within 2 seconds, and other element is loaded within 3 seconds. Okay, so it will wait until loading all the web elements in the web page. Okay, so that entire web page is going to be wait till 10 seconds. Suppose if entire web elements, all the 10 elements loaded before 5 seconds or 6x means 6 seconds, then you are going to move ahead. It won't wait till 10 seconds. Once the elements are getting loaded, then it will go for the next line of code. Okay, so that means here there is no any ideal time. Okay, if elements are loaded 5 seconds, then it won't wait for the remaining 5 seconds. It will move for the next line of code. Okay, so that is one area here. But imagine that there might be some elements which may not be loaded even before this 2 seconds or 5 seconds. Then what you can do for that particular element, you will get the no such element found exception if you use this particular implicit wait. Okay, so in such cases, what you have to do, right? You have to give the condition for that particular web element rather than all the web elements. Out of 10 elements, one element we are not getting the proper loading, so it takes more time. For all the web elements it is taking or below 5 seconds or 3 seconds, but one web element took more than 10 seconds or 5 seconds. Then what you have to do, then you will go with the explicit wait condition. Explicit wait condition, this method. Okay, so this explicit wait, what does it do? It will wait, it will halt for the specific web element. Okay, suppose out of this username, password and cancel, then cancel button it took more than what the elements are loading for these two, then we are going to specify for cancel button specifically, like for 12 seconds or 13 seconds or whatever it may be. Okay, so you have to give the specific condition for that particular web element. So that is what we are going to consider it as a explicit wait. Okay. Imagine that suppose this is a explicit wait condition. Okay, so this is also a dynamic wait property only, but it allows only for the particular wait condition, or there are some several conditions, element to be clickable or in presence of element. So there are some conditions which are available. So based on that visibility, whether the element is visible or not, whether the element is clickable or not. So if the condition satisfies, then it is going to be perform the action on that. Okay, so this is one wait property, and there is a one more condition is fluent wait. Okay, what is the purpose of fluent wait? As you given here 10 seconds, right? Implicit wait or explicit wait, you have given 10 seconds. Okay, it will wait till 10 seconds, and if it is loading elements before that, then it will move to the next line of code. But fluent wait, what it does, suppose if you are giving 10 seconds, okay, within this 10 seconds, every 2 seconds, I am going to check the element, whether it is loading or not. So that is nothing but a fluent wait. It means every frequently out of 10 seconds, every 2 seconds, it will check whether element is loaded or not. If it is loaded, then it will move for the next line of code, and remaining seconds will ignore it. Okay, like that. So the only difference between implicit or this and fluent wait is nothing but in terms of every frequency intervals of time, it will check the condition. If it is satisfied, then it will perform the action. If it is not satisfied the condition, then it will throw the error message. These all are the different ways, and there are some more properties like wait for page to be loaded. So those kind of things. So these all are the main important conditions. Under this explicit wait, we have some more visibilities are there. So once we have that thing, then we will get this in a application. We will show that. You already aware of this, right? Thread dot sleep, right? You already know, right? Thread dot sleep.
Yes.
Thread dot sleep means suppose if you are giving 1000 milliseconds, this is nothing but a milliseconds. Suppose if I give 10,000, then it will halt for 10 seconds. Even though the element is loaded, then it will wait for 10 seconds and then only it will perform the action. Okay. So that is one thing, that is one disadvantage. So that's why in real time, never use it for the thread or sleep. If we want for the reference purpose, you just halt for some time, it will halt your execution. That's why no one will prefer. Okay, so this is the thread or sleep. And whenever if you are performing username, password, when you are entering the values also, right, it will halt 10 seconds and then it will perform the action. Okay, so this is first thing. And second one is we know that same, instead of this we are going to use the So driver dot manage dot implicit wait, right? Implicit timeouts dot implicit wait. Okay, see here we have different timeouts are there. Okay, duration, long. See, this concept is what does it relates to in real time in Selenium. If you compare this under that Java oops concept, which concept is going to be referred here? Implicit wait. In oops concept, which is going to be applicable here?
Method overloading.
Yeah, correct. Method overload. This is what you have to know, because in suppose in examples also or interviews, they may ask you what is meant by method overloading and where you are used in your applications. Say here implicit wait. These all are the different arguments are there, right? Here, this is what you can say. Implicit wait. See, here this is the duration of timeouts, right? Here you have the long and timeouts, seconds, duration of seconds, long hours. So this is going to be vary here. Okay, so that's why we are going to use this duration dot duration of. See here, you have the duration, long days is there, seconds is there, long seconds are there. So these all are the method overloading, right? Different arguments with the same method. Okay, different arguments, right? You are changing the arguments here. So I am going to take here duration of seconds. Okay, so here I can use the 10 seconds. That's it. So this is nothing but the by using implicit wait. That means that it will wait for entire web page. Okay, so whenever you are going to use google.com, then it will wait for 10 seconds. That means that if you are loading all the web elements before that time, it well and good. And if it is loading web elements before 5 seconds also, then also it is going to be move ahead. Okay, it won't wait till 10 seconds. Okay, that's why these all are the dynamic wait properties. Dynamic wait. Okay, so this is one thing. And that explicit wait, right? Explicit wait is specifically for the web elements. Suppose in your application you are having 20 to 30 web elements are there. So this implicit wait is applicable for all the web elements, irrespective of web page. Okay, so all web elements to be loaded, web elements in the web page. Whereas explicit wait, what is going to be happen, right? So we will have to define that one object. We will create one object reference. Then we will call that method. So for that explicit wait, under the specific conditions, which all are the conditions? Say for example, element to be clickable or element to be visible. If element is visible, then only you can perform the action, such kind of things. Okay, so that is for only for the specific web element. Say I have one web element is there. See, this one is this generate alert confirm box is there, right? So what I did, I have stored this under a web element. Okay, so this web element, I'll have to perform the action, click action. Before that, before performing click operation, we are using that wait until. Say this wait is the method, means object reference. We have created this this WebDriver, right? So this is the method we have created, object reference. Okay, so wait, new WebDriver wait is equal to driver. That means duration of seconds, 10 seconds. We are passing here itself, this one. Okay, this is the object reference and we are calling that wait dot. So wait dot until expected conditions. Say here, you can use here wait dot until. Okay. So here you can use this expected conditions. expected conditions dot. Once you use this, see, you may have the n number of options here. Alerts present or expected conditions, attribute conditions by locator, or you may have element selected by state, element to be clickable, element to be selected. So these all are the different options are there. So you can select anything here, say element to be clickable. And what is the web element here? We used the GCB, that is the locator. Okay, web element like this. Similarly, in the presence, if we want to use any other value, then I can go with that element to be visible. Okay, element to be selected like this, GCB. So it depends on the conditions, you can use that property. Okay, so this is nothing but the explicit weight that is applicable only for that particular web element, depends on the state of the element or conditions. So that's why we are going to use this as a expected conditions, element to be visible, selected, or attribute. So based on the different conditions. Okay. So that is how we are going to use this web element. Okay. So similarly, if we have fluent weight, right? Fluent weight, we can use the same criteria. Here, we can use rather than this element, because here this time we have already defined this 10 seconds. Okay. So we have declared at one place and we can use the multiple. Suppose if we are using 2 to 3 web elements, so you no need to write each and every place this method. Okay. So we created an object reference with this is the WebDriver weight. This is a class. What is class contains? Class contains what?
Objects and properties.
No, class contains objects and methods, right? You have the predefined
Methods.
methods. Class contains methods also, right? So those methods only. This is the WebDriver weight. This is the WebDriver. Under this WebDriver weight, we have some predefined methods. Okay. How are we going to call this WebDriver weight predefined methods? With the help of object reference. Weight is the object reference, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
See, now as simple as that. Suppose I have one method is there, or I have one class is there here. Imagine that you have one class test is there. Okay. Now here I have some methods. Public void add method. Okay. What I will do? I will just simply pass int a comma int b. Okay. So now int c is equal to a plus b. Now I am going to call this system dot out dot println c. See, now under this class, I am having this add method. Okay. So similarly, I am having one more method here. Say here I have mult. Okay. You got it right? Say here we have the add method and this is the multiplication. And here I have a star b. Okay. So now assume that I have two methods and these two methods are present under this particular test class, right? Now, how I am going to call these methods? How can I call these methods under this class? Add method and multiplication method. How can I get this?
We have to create object first.
Yeah, we have to create an object first. Okay, so now I'm going to create an object first. So how to create an object? Class name and T1 is equal to new
New
test,
test.
right? So that's all. Now, see, now we can call that methods, right? So this test is nothing but a class, right? Under this class,
Yes.
we have two methods, add method and multiplication method. And we are calling those methods with reference to the object reference. Say, for example, T1 dot add method. Okay, so I'm going to pass 10, 20. That's it. So this is how we are calling, right? Similarly, here WebDriver weight is a class. Under this class, you have some predefined methods, which is already defined under the Selenium. The first class itself, we have discussed about Selenium, right? So what we have discussed, it's just a kind of framework level. We are going to use those methods wherever we require. We are not going to create any new methods and all, right? So in the similar manner, in this WebDriver wait also, we have some predefined methods and we are calling those methods with the help of wait object reference. That's it. So that is what we did here. Wait dot until expected conditions in this. Okay. You got it right? You just join once again in the same link only. Okay. I will just come back again.
Okay, sir.